Do you have difficulty knowing how to pronounce the B and the V in Spanish? Well, let's clear this up. The two sounds are B and V. Oh, that was easy. Now we need to know when and where they are in the word for the conditions to be met for you to make those two sounds. So let's talk about that. I'm going to give you examples, and I'm going to tell you where and when the letters are found, when you will actually make the hard B sound, B, or when you make the sound, which we don't have in English, this The one sound that doesn't exist in Spanish is the V sound like we have in English, as in very or valve. They don't have that in Spanish. So let's talk about the names of these two letters. The B, the second letter in the alphabet, can be called B de burro, or B grande, or B larga. The V can be called B de vaca, or B corta, or B chica. Let's talk about the first sound, the B, the easy one. We'll leave the more challenging one for last. And then there's actually a third sound, and if you really wanted to go into it, there are many more sounds. I really love this subject. This is a condensed version of the Spanish phonetics class that I had in college, but I want to give you the two main sounds and then a little bit of that third sound at the end. So the first one is kind of simple, but knowing when to do it is the trick. So you have the B sound. The reason I say simple, because it's the same sound that we make for our B in English. The issue is that both the B and the V in Spanish make this sound. So if you see a B in Spanish, that'll be easy for you to pronounce B. When you see a V in this condition, you need to pronounce it also B. What is that? The condition is that it's the first thing that comes out of your mouth. So if you're saying I go, which is spelled V-O-Y, you're going to say boy. Boy. So here are some examples. Viernes, vender, botar, van, voy, bien, bendecir, botar, banco, voy acá. So as you can see, it doesn't matter if the word starts with a V or a B, you pronounce it like a B. And the reason I'm teaching this to you is so that you don't have to guess. So when you say a word and it starts with a V or a B and it's the first thing coming out of your mouth, you can say with confidence, B. You can absolutely know with certainty that you shouldn't make the V sound. If you are and you're speaking Spanish, it's a mistake. Try not to do it. There's another case when you make this B sound, and that's when the B is next to another consonant. It only needs to be next to one other consonant, but it's not every consonant. So let me give you some examples. It's usually when it's next to an R or an L. Look at these examples. Árbol, arveja, hebreo, bloquear. So you can see there in those examples, whether it's B or a V, it's pronounced with the strong B sound. Okay, let's look at the soft sound now. It is certainly not a V, but it's this other sound that when I say it in isolation, it's ooh. So what you should do to get the right sound is think B before you're about to do it. So if you saw your mouth in slow motion when you go to say a B, it would be B, right? Your lips have to come together. So think B, but just don't let your lips come together right here in the middle. The problem is that, just like with all letters, it depends what vowel comes before and after. And there's the clue. This second sound must be surrounded by vowels for you to produce it. That's what's required to make this sound. It's when the B or the V are surrounded by vowels. And that can even come from a previous word. But let's look at individual words first to practice. Lobo, iba, traba, cebolla, nabo, tubo, subir, uva, huevo, grave, suave, breve. So as you can see with these words, the B or the V are surrounded by vowels. That's the requisite. to make this soft sound. So if you're feeling like, I just don't know how to get to that, these are the steps to take. Imagine that there's a B there. Imagine that there is a letter B, and you're about to say the B, but just don't let your lips touch. Now, for some of you, that's going to be difficult. You'll say, I just can't get that to happen. Okay. So here's the next technique, and this does work. First, say the word with a B sound. Let your lips touch, and then say it without touching, and go back and forth, and eventually you'll feel the control. I'll do an example with the word lobo. So I'm going to incorrectly say it by letting my lips touch to make the B sound, just to show how you can control between the B and the W. So it's lobo, 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 lobo. Let's go to the next word. Iba, 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 iba. And how about cebolla, 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 cebolla? So when my lips were coming together, that was incorrect. You're not supposed to let that happen. But those words all had a B in it. Let's see when the words that have a V, it's the same. They will act the same way. Uba, uva, uba, uva. Huevo, 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 huevo. Grave, 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 grave. So this is how you can practice to get that correct position of the lips. But all it is your lips come really close together like you're going to say a B. Think B and you'll have the right sound. Don't think V. They do not make the V sound in Spanish. So think B, bring your lips close together, and then don't let them touch. As I said, the B or the V need to be surrounded by vowels, but that can also be a vowel from a previous word. So we say vaca, but we say la vaca. So vaca, cow, starts with a V, but we say vaca. But if you put the article in front of it and say the cow, then you say la vaca, and your lips don't touch. La vaca, because of the A from the previous word. And that can be it doesn't have to be an article. It can be any word that comes before it. If that last letter in the word is a vowel, and the next letter is a B or a V, and then the following letter is also a vowel, so you have a B or a V surrounded by vowels, then you need to pronounce it the soft way. And it doesn't matter where it's in the sentence. So some other examples are votar, a votar, bailo, yo bailo, bailas, tú bailas, brincas, tú brincas. Ah, you see there, I didn't do it because brincas, to hop, you hop, is BR. So it's not every time that a vowel comes before the B, you're going to do this. The B or the V have to be surrounded by vowels to get that soft sound. Now let's look at that last sound that I told you about. In this last group, when you have a B followed by a T or a J or an S, you're just going to bring your lips together and not have any explosion. So they will come together because it is followed by a consonant. So in that way, it's similar to the other Bs, but there is no strong B sound like you often hear. So it will almost sound like a P to your ear, but it is not a P either in English because our P is explosive in English too. You just bring your lips together. Watch. Obtener, objetivo, abstracto. And then finally, the challenging one is when you have a B and then a V together, and it's actually a really common word, obvio, obvio, or obviamente. That's obvious or obviously. One more time. Obvio, obviamente. I can't wait to read your comments. Subscribe to see more videos like this and book a class with me on italki. Remember, millions of people speak Spanish fluently, and you will too.